Can you hear me? And can you hear RFK? Hopefully I am. That's certainly true. No sound at all. You, but not him. That sucks. You guys think that is, huh? Let's do this. Audio. All right. Let's see if we solve that riddle. Let me know if you can hear him. Yeah, man, I'm a neophyte. It's bad. Like, it's super bad. I've got no business doing. I don't deserve your viewership. That is how bad my tech process here is. So, all right. So you cannot hear him still. God damn it. All right. I don't actually know how to solve that problem because audio, that's where it's coming from. Can't come from the headphones. All right. What can you hear now? I have to imagine there's an echo now.
Just 37 hours after he took the oath of office, swearing to uphold the Constitution, President Biden and his White House opened up a portal and then invited the CIA, FBI, CISA, which is a censorship agency, the center of the censorship investigation complex, DHS, the IRS, and
What up, Sourdough? I'm getting mixed signals from the crowd here. I've got can't understand it, and I've got a thumbs up. So a thumbs up leads me to believe that things are great. And the other one is obvious. Makes me feel a certain way. See what kind of effect we have. It was perfect for a little while, right? In the beginning, before. Yeah, not being able to hear him is an issue because we're only here talking about that. So I don't know how that would do it. Let's do this. Speaker. All right. I'm sorry for doing this to you guys. I appreciate you being here. Adequate? Well, if we're being honest, I'll take adequate. I mean, until I learn what I'm doing a little bit, adequate's better than I pictured being a starting point. My nightmare scenario is kind of what is occurring right now, where nobody can hear me or can't hear this. Yep. So, did you guys hear that? Close the other stuff. Did you close the other stuff you looked at? The heritage tab's still open. You want that out of here? Get rid of that. And then I had something I was going to later. I don't know how on earth that would have affected the sound. I mean, you could convince me easily on my speakers, but can't hear the video. Okay. This is very interesting. Oh, really? That sucks. All right. Do this here. How about this? Sorry about that, everybody. I realize how lame it is. I do. That's a plus. I don't know what that means. So, okay, let's look at. Yeah, and that's not ideal either. I'd rather it be so you guys could hear it. All right. Cool. How about that? You guys hear this freaking commercial? By all means, play it again. How true. Well, you know, I don't understand what's going on here, but hey, now. I have a teenager. He's at the beach. And then I have my younger son could probably handle it too. That's the sad thing. All right, what kind of sound do we have right now? Do we have anything? This is precisely, and I feel for you guys, but you're on the ground floor here. Yes, I see. Here, we'll get away from this scene. Maybe you're on the sound options. We're gonna see. No, you can edit the name. That's about it. Oh, that's good. I am happy about that. Huh. Don't worry, it's just replaying that old bullshit that we already listened to when it sounded okay. I bet he is. My son's 15 also. He's no computer genius, but he certainly has some other teenager strengths. Surprised I'm still alive. No, I spoke too soon. I speak too soon. All right. Let's see if pulling that monitor out makes any difference. All right, guys. Any different? Well, there's not even options for me, ladies and gents. I can switch between two audio sources and
Anything with petition. After all the polls consistently showed that each of the other candidates, both in favorability and also the head-to-head matchups. I'm sorry to say that while democracy is open by the fast boost, it has become little more than a slogan for our media and for government
Okay, so I took out.
the Democratic Party. In the name of saving democracy, the
Wonder
Democratic
how
Party
I gotta make it.
lacking confidence in its candidate, that candidate could win a fair election at the vote. The DNC waged continual legal warfare against both President Trump and myself. Each time that our volunteers turned in those cowering boxes of signatures needed to get on the ballot,
I'm hoping that the volume isn't coming from the ambient noise from my monitor. Hopefully you're getting the internal.
It deployed DNC aligned judges from the
It's not on full because I'm sitting here.
jail. It ran a sham primary that was rigged to prevent any serious challenge to President Biden.
And now it's up all the way.
Then, when a predictably vulnerable debate performance precipitated the House coup against President Biden, the same shadowy DNC operative appointed himself also without an election. They installed a candidate who was so unpopular with voters that she dropped out in 2020 without winning a single delegate. My father both relished debate. They prided themselves on their capacity to go toe to toe with any opponent in the battle over ideas. They would be astonished to learn of a Democratic Party presidential nominee who, like Vice President Harris, has not appeared in a single interview
Interesting.
or an unscripted encounter with voters for 35 days. This is profoundly undemocratic. How are people to choose when they don't know whom they are choosing? And how can this look to the rest of the world? My father
Looks like a clown show. That's what it looks like.
Image of our, because of our nature.
How's that sound? Are we getting any better?
A role model for democratic processes and leader of the free world. Instead of showing us her substance and character,
And there's no echo or crossover with my voice.
Popularity for Vice President Harris based upon, well, nothing. No policies, no interviews, no debates, only smoke and mirrors. And
Well, what's this?
this is the story of how
You know, the sad thing is, everybody,
by automating admin when everyday tasks start slowing you down.
do this here.
Thriving business
I'm gonna help us out here.
What do we really know about 9 features a day? Corrupt union bosses, officers raided by the FBI, sending our goons to national affiliates in pursuit of what?
standards, their community standards. The mainstream media was once the guardian of the First Amendment and democratic principles, and has joined this systemic attack on democracy. Although the media justifies their censorship on the grounds of combating misinformation, but governments and oppressors don't censor lies. They don't fear lies. They fear the truth, and that's what they censor. And I don't want any of this to sound like a personal complaint, because it's not.
Okay, that's good.
For me, it's all part of the journey that I signed up with.
Does it sound like it's coming from my monitor and not internally? I'm at a 10 and the videos at a 2.5. Holy yo. Alright. So I think I can work with that though. I can turn me down. Alright. How's my mic? Appreciate that. All right, let's see. So he's not too far from where we kind of left off. He left off highlighting the media's failure and all this, the press.
But I need to make these observations because I think they're critical for us doing the thing that we need to do as a democracy to assess where we are in this country and what our democracy still looks like, and the assumptions about U.S. leadership around the globe. And are we really still a role model for democracy in this country? Or have we made it a kind of a joke?
We've made it a joke.
Well, mainstream outlets denied me a critical platform in shutting down my ideas, which have especially flourished among young voters, independent voters, and the alternative media. Many months ago, I promised the American people that I would withdraw from the race. I became a spoiler. A spoiler is someone who altered the outcome of the election but had no chance of winning. In my heart, I no longer believe that I have a realistic path to elect victory in the face of his relentless, systematic censorship and media control. So I cannot be conscious to ask my staff and volunteers to keep working at long hours or ask my donors to keep giving when I cannot honestly tell them that I have a real path to the White House. Furthermore,
Video from the video sound through your side. I didn't want to. I wanted to run the sound completely. Hey, what's up, tag? Completely independent of that. I wanted it to be internal sound, but it's not. It's not helping. And the setting had it on the internal speakers, which I'm skeptical if it was there, guys. I don't think it was on the internal speakers. Let's see.
With whom I disagree on the most existential issues.
My dogs might eat shit.
War and chronic disease. So I want everyone to know that I am not terminating my campaign. I am simply suspending it and not ending it.
Oh, I didn't know that he didn't end it.
My name will remain on the ballot in most states. But if you live in a blue state,
Right.
you can vote for me without harming President Trump or Vice President Harris.
I'm not sure where he gets that. I'm not sure where he gets that idea from.
And if enough of you do vote for me, and neither of the major party candidates win 270 votes, which is quite possible. In fact, today our polling shows them tying at 269 to 269. And I could conceivably still end up in the White House in a contingent election. But in about 10
Look at him clapping up for the loophole.
my presence would be a display, but I'm going to remove my name. And I've already started that process and urge voters not to vote for me.
All right, let me let them out of my office. And
Not the feet that I'm suspending.
Yeah.
I can't pay.
Oh, stop.
Disease, free speech, government corruption, great addiction. The center of politics.
this is just a test tag. Yes, I'm trying to.
Thank you for a job well done.
Yeah, I'm trying to get a little more proficient with the whole live streaming thing. I'm having some issues. I don't know if it's because I just have a dated computer or I'm trying to do too much with it, but I'd like to have the sound in my ear and in your but this is the problem that I've been dealing with, is that we get you get my voice, but you can't get the video sound for some reason. So that is what is going on. All right, let me know if we got any changes here, guys. I've got one rickety chair too. Holy shit. Yeah, I want some interaction though. I think that it would make for a better stream if I know I think better when other people are talking to me, or maybe I just get off topic and on a tangent. I guess I didn't really think about that. Can you hear him? Please, God, tell me you can hear him. You. All right. Is that still the same? Just me. That is so discouraging, folks. All right, still trying to work on that. Not sure that has any effect on the audio, but who knows? It might. It might have the biggest deal to do with it. Maybe if you join the stream on your phone, play the video from your phone. Thank you, Sourdough. I can give that a shot, right? All right, we're gonna give that a shot. All right, we're gonna give that a shot. So true. So freaking true.
And
All right. All right. Okay, let's see. Right? I don't even know what that means. Alright. Alright. Got that. I can add a video file if that's what you're asking, but I'd have to download that. Is the sound any different right now? I appreciate that, Tag. If only so you guys could hear things better. I think it all changed when I switched from the Alvin and the Chipmunks microphone. They're talking about juvenile diabetes, and it's juvenile diabetes got created because of the food pyramid. Change back. Is this what we're looking for? I think eliminating that screen and adding it back up helped. But you guys will have to let me know. Oh no, it wasn't. Well, we'll go back to that if we can get the other sound back. Holy shit! Is that still on? Yeah, mic's still on. Still no Kennedy. All right. That's a problem. You can't hear it. All right. We've got the Alvin mic, and we've got the old sound. How are we looking now? Any different? Any sound?
can't hear the video, but you are fine. Guys, you are so patient. I can't tell you how much I appreciate you being here.
No, it's just,
Help me work through this
and 15% of high schoolers are on Adderall,
craziness.
500,000 children on SSRIs. So what's causing this suffering? I'll name two culprits.
What's the balance
First,
like?
and the worst, is ultra-processed food. About 70% of American children's diet is ultra-processed. That means industrial manufactured in a factory. These foods consist primarily of processed sugar, ultra-processed grains, and seed oils. Laboratory scientists who have formed...
I didn't know how to share it from my other...
The cigarette industry, which purchased all the big food companies.
Yeah, I want to too.
Deployed thousands of
I have to
scientists
imagine some
figure
sounds
out
better right now.
new chemicals to make the food more addictive. And these ingredients didn't exist 100 years ago. Humans aren't biologically adapted to eat them. Hundreds of these chemicals are now banned in Europe, but ubiquitous in American processed foods. The second culprit is toxic chemicals in our food, in our medicine, in our environment. Pesticides, food additives,
How's the balance between the two?
toxic waste permeate every
I don't know why
The
Sorry,
assault
I can
on
hear
our
the video.
children's cells and hormones is unrelenting. To name just one problem, many of these chemicals increase estrogen. Because young children are ingesting so many of these hormone disruptors, America's puberty rate is now occurring at age 10 to 13, which is 6 years earlier than girls were reaching puberty in 1900. Our country has the puberty rates of any continent on the earth. And no, this isn't because of better nutrition. This is not normal.
Okay, turn that
Breast
mic
cancer
down a
is
little bit.
also estrogen-driven,
How's
and now strikes
how's the
1 in 8
balance
women.
there?
We are mass poisoning all of our children and our adults. And considering the grievous human cause,
Maybe
of
give
this
me a
tragic
1
epidemic
if
of chronic disease,
it sounds
since
like
Thomas Kraft
that
mentioned the damage
audio
it does
is
to our
coming from where
But I'll
it's
say,
supposed to be coming from,
it's
or if it
critical
sounds like
to
it's
the
coming
nation's finances. When my uncle was president,
from
our
my
country
microphone.
spent $0 on chronic disease. Today, government healthcare spending is almost all for chronic disease. And it's double the military budget. And it is the fastest growing budget item in the federal budget.
That's good,
Chronic
right?
disease costs more to the
think that's
economy
good.
as a whole, plus at least $4 trillion.
That's not good.
5 times our military budget. And that's a 20% drag on everything we do and everything we aspire to. Poor and minority communities suffer disproportionately. People who worry about DEI or about bigotry of any kind, this dwarfs anything. We are poisoning the poor. We are systematically poisoning minorities across this country. Industry lobbyists have made sure that most of the food stamp lunch program, about 70% of food stamp and 70 or 77% of school lunches are processed foods. There's no vegetables. There's nothing that you would want to eat. We are just poisoning the poor citizens, and that's why they have the highest chronic disease burden of anybody, any demographic in the country, and the highest in the world. The same food industry law make sure that nearly all agricultural subsidies go to commodity crops that are the feedstock of processed food industry. These policies are destroying small farms and they're destroying our soils.
Okay.
We give about, I think, 8 times as much in subsidies to tobacco than we do to fruits and vegetables. It makes no sense. We want a healthy country. The good news is that we can change all this. We can change it very, very quickly. America can get healthy again.
Alright, I might have
To
an
do
answer,
that,
guys.
we need to do 3 things. First, we need to root out the corruption in our health agencies. Second, we need to change incentives in our healthcare system. And third, we need to to inspire Americans to get healthy again. 8% of NIH grants go to people who have conflicts of interest. These are the people, virtually everybody who sits in Joe Biden just appointed a new panel to NIH to decide the food. They're put on medication. That's being recommended for children as young as 6. All for a condition of obesity that is completely preventable and barely even
I don't know
existed
what just
100 years
happened.
ago. 74% of obese. The cost, if all of them took their Ozempic prescription, is $3 trillion a year. This is a
You hear
drug
this?
that is made in Novo Nordisk.
Here's another thing.
The biggest company in Europe is a Danish company, and the Danish government does
Sorry
not
about that. I
recommend
don't know what
it.
just
It
happened.
recommends change in diet to treat obesity and exercise. And in our country, the recommendation now is for Ozempic to children at age 6.
If that's true, that is insane. I'm gonna try to open up a tab in the program or in the browser that StreamYard likes, and then hopefully we're gonna see our issues resolved. I'm hopeful. I'm cautiously optimistic. Two-step verification is going on. That's what it wants. This Ozempic stuff's nuts.
Novo Nordisk is the biggest company in Europe, and virtually its entire value is based upon its projections
Do
of
we
what
have
it's
any?
going to sell.
Do we have
Ozempic
any
is gonna
South
sell
Park
to
fans
America.
in there? In the house?
We
Like
have
South
three
Park
lobbyists
has to be culturally on
have a
point.
bill in front of Congress today that is backed by the White House, backed by Vice President Harris and President Biden to allow this to happen. This $3 trillion cost is going to bankrupt our country. For a fraction of that amount, we could buy organic food for every American family, 3 meals a day, and unlimited. The Swiss program, the food stamp programs, they are all corrupted and conflicted individuals. These agencies, the FDA, USDA, and CDC, all of them are controlled by giant for-profit corporations. 75% of the
see
FDA's
if we
funding
can-
doesn't come from taxpayer, it comes from pharma. Pharma executives and consultants and lobbyists cycle in and out of these agencies. Program, food stamp programs, they are all corrupted and conflicted individuals. These agencies, the FDA, USDA, and CDC, all of them are controlled by giant for-profit corporations. 75% of the FDA's funding doesn't come from taxpayer, it comes from pharma. And pharma executives and consultants and lobbyists cycle in and out of these agencies with President Trump's backing.
With President Trump's backing, I'm going to change that. We're going to staff these agencies with honest scientists and doctors who are free from industry funding. We're going to make sure the decisions of consumers, doctors, and patients are informed by unbiased science. A sick child is the best thing for the pharmaceutical industry. When American children or adults get sick with a chronic condition, they're put on medication for their entire life. Imagine what will happen when Medicare starts paying for Ozempic, which costs $1,500 a month, and it's being recommended for children as young as 6, all for a condition, obesity, that is completely preventable and barely even existed 100 years ago. And 74% of Americans are obese. The cost, if all of them took their Ozempic prescription, is $3 trillion a year. This is a drug that is made by Novo Nordisk, the biggest company in Europe. It's a Danish company, and the Danish government does not recommend it. It recommends change in diet to treat obesity and exercise. And in our country, the recommendation now is for Ozempic to children at age 6. Novo Nordisk, the biggest company in Europe, and virtually its entire value is based upon its projections of what it's going to sell, of the Ozempic it's going to sell to America. And we have the food lobbyists have a bill in front of Congress today that is backed by the White House, backed by Vice President Harris and President Biden, to allow this to happen. This $3 trillion cost that is going to bankrupt our country. For a fraction of that amount, we could buy organic food for every American family, 3 meals a day, and eliminate diabetes altogether. We're going to bring healthy food back to school lunches. Foods with our agricultural subsidies. We're going to get toxic chemicals out of our food. We're going to reform the entire food system. And for that, we need new leadership in Washington. Because unfortunately, both the Democrats and the Republican parties are in cahoots with the big food producers, big pharma and big ag, which are among the DNC's major donors. Vice President Harris has expressed no interest in addressing this issue. 4 more years of Democratic rule will complete the consolidation of corporate and neocon power, and our children will be the ones who suffer most. I got involved with chronic disease 20 years ago, not because I chose to or wanted to. It was essentially thrust upon me. It was an issue that should have been central to the environmental movement. I was a central leader at that time, but it was widely ignored by all the institutions, including the NGOs, who should have been protecting our kids against toxins. It was an orphaned issue, and I had a weakness for orphans. I watched generations of children get sicker and sicker. I had 11 siblings, and I had 7 kids myself. I was conscious of what was happening in their classrooms and to their friends, and I watched these sick kids, these damaged kids. In that generation, almost all of them are damaged. And nobody in power seemed to care or to even notice. For 19 years, I prayed every morning that God would put me in a position to end this calamity. The chronic disease crisis was one of the primary reasons for my running for president, along with ending censorship in the Ukraine war. It's the reason I've made the heart-wrenching decision to suspend my campaign and to support President Trump. This decision is agonizing for me because of the difficulties it causes my wife and my children and my friends. But I have the certainty that this is what I've meant to do. And that certainty gives me internal peace, even in storms. If I'm given the chance to fix the chronic disease crisis and reform our food production, I promise that within 2 years, we will watch chronic disease burden lift dramatically. We will make Americans healthy again. Within 4 years, America will be a healthy country. We will be stronger, more resilient, more optimistic, and happier. I won't fail in doing this. Ultimately, the future, however it happens, is in God's hands and in the hands of the American voters and those of President Trump. If President Trump is elected and honors his word, the vast burden of chronic disease that now demoralizes and bankrupts the country will disappear. This is a spiritual journey for me. I reached my decision through deep prayer, through hard-nosed logic, and I asked myself, what choices must I make to maximize my chances to save America's children and restore national health? I felt that if I refused this opportunity, I would not be able to look myself in the mirror, knowing that I could have saved lives of countless children and reversed this country's chronic disease epidemic. I'm 70 years old. I may have a decade to be effective. I can't imagine that President Harris would allow me or anyone to solve these dire problems. After 8 years of President Harris, any opportunity for me to fix the problem will be out of my reach forever. President Trump has told me that he wants this to be his legacy. I'm choosing to believe that this time he will follow through.
This time,
His son,
this time
his
I'll
biggest
follow through,
donors,
yes.
his closest friends, and
This time
all
he's gonna
support
do
this
it.
objective. My joining the Trump campaign would be a difficult sacrifice for my wife and children, but worthwhile if there's even a small chance of saving these kids. Ultimately, the only thing that will save our country and our children is if we choose to love our kids more than we hate each other. That's why I launched my campaign to unify America. My dad and uncle made such an enduring mark on the character of our nation, not so much because of any particular policies that they promoted, but because they were able to inspire profound love for our country and to fortify our sense of ourselves as a national community held together by ideals. They were able to put their love into the intentions and hearts of ordinary Americans and to unify a national populist movement of Americans, blacks and whites, Hispanics, urban and rural Americans. They inspired affection and love and high hopes and a culture of kindness that continue to radiate among Americans from their memory. That's the spirit on which I ran my campaign and that I intend to bring into the campaign of President Trump.
It's an interactive
Instead of
audience
vitriol and
also.
polarization, I will appeal to the values that unite us.
Really
The
have to
goals
look.
that we could achieve if
I guess I
only
could
we
test
weren't
if
at
I
each
put an
other's
AirPod
throats.
in and listen
Most
to it
unifying
myself,
theme
so
for all Americans
things would become very
is
confusing
that
at
we
some
all love
point.
our
Let me give
children.
that a shot, actually.
If we all unite around that issue now,
So kind of delay
we can finally give them the protection, the health, and the future that they deserve. Thank you all very much.
All right. We'll call I don't think we need that. What do you guys think about this sound? Didn't know if we can hear me. Can we hear me? Let's see. All right, any sound? We got any viewers in here? Any sound? Pretty nasty delay on that thing. Interesting. Alright guys, I think I'm gonna wrap it up here. I gotta figure some things out before I come back and give you this standard product that I'm giving you right now. I do appreciate you guys coming in and trying to help me work through some of the issues. But yeah. Take care. See ya.